In a past show I recently done, I stated that I would not get into the details about Charlie Kirk's death because the show that I was speaking on, I spoke about the hypocrisy of having flags flown at half mast in his honor. But I will today. I'll speak about it because it needs to be said. Charlie Kirk was really a nobody in terms of very popular podcasters. He was a podcaster. He had a fan base, but mostly from what has been visualized and replayed now, it's easy to see that Charlie Kirk was dealing in hate mongering, racism, and as in our president's case, playing to his base. Along the way, he became a friend of the president, and his podcast numbers grew based upon that. He was able to pull in a number of racist groups, including the Ku Klux Klan, skinheads, and all the likes. The thing is, these people, these politicians, and this president, they all thought it was very cute to speak the way that he spoke in such hateful rhetoric, basically following the lead of his leader. Now that he is dead, they, being the president and politicians, have decided that he should be a martyr, a creation by the politicians like the president and hate mongers across the U.S. They pretend that they did not know or understand that what Charlie Kirk was speaking was in reality racist, sexist, homophobic, and even attacks of anyone who was not born and raised in the United States. They pretend because they know once this president and these politicians wanted to utilize this situation, his followers fell right in line. So the problem is also a big fold when you look at they found some self-hating black people who don't even love themselves or anyone of their color to back the things that Charlie Kirk was saying in reality, so they can say, see, even black people agree with Charlie Kirk. And we know that as a whole, this is far from the truth. The lady politician that ran in front of the cameras as soon as Charlie Kirk was shot to be an opportunist and rant and rave about Democrats and this group here and all these people here, ran out there without any information whatsoever. There were no police accounts. There were no authorities such as the FBI or any other agency speaking. This was this lady running in front of the cameras just to get it off her chest with her hateful ass. So when the truth came about that it was not any of the people that she directed her anger at, instead of being a damn grown-up and saying, oops, my bad, she doubled down, went more with the hate speech and all, even when she found out that the accused killer was from her own political group. And what made it worse was she received no censure, no suspension, no go out here and apologize for what you just did. None of that came about. It's like she said all these erroneous things, false accusations, which could and probably did send some buttholes out here to threaten HBCUs and black schools. She played a part in it. But not one thing was done to her. Nothing. And that is where we lie today in America. This is today's politics because they follow their leader in hate and division, and the country in the meantime is just swirling around in a big ass toilet. Charlie Kirk's death is really Wag the Dog. And if you have seen the movie Wag the Dog, you would know exactly what I mean by that. I cannot worry right now about spoiler alerts about the movie, but I'm going to show you why I said what I said. In the movie Wag the Dog, a sitting United States president sexually assaults a little girl who was on a White House tour. But instead of politicians and grown folks being grown folk, instead of them holding the president accountable and having him charged for such a very serious crime, their vision was to cover it up. And their way to cover it up was to deceive American citizens and reporters into believing that the United States was about to go to war. At the time of this incident in the movie, the presidential election was coming up in a few weeks. Their plan was to create a situation of a war, lie to everybody that I just spoke about, and cover this up at least for the next couple of weeks until the election. Now, in the real life situation, we are dealing with a president who has been accused of many felonies and everything else that you can think of. But at the time, there were a lot of women who were coming forward to get their story out. They came with their lawyers, they came to Washington, D.C., and they planned to meet with members of Congress and other politicians to let it be known that this president and Jeffrey Epstein were sexual predators. Some of those charges were very severe. And it could mean the end of this dude's presidency. What happens? Wag the Dog in real life comes about. And because these women were dead set about doing such a thing and nothing by law to stop them, here's where I feel like Charlie Kirk's death was Charlie Kirk being sacrificed. If you look at it from the movie sense and how reality comes about, his death in reality became a distraction to America. It was set to distract U.S. citizens, the U.S. press, and all of the questions that came about that involved Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk. So when you're looking at this president wanting to put Charlie Kirk into martyrdom, it's not so much that he had a love for Charlie Kirk. The man is selfish. He doesn't care about people like that. There has to be something in it for him. So what we got going on now was, okay, what we're going to do is we know that there's a division of like and unlike of Charlie Kirk. And when it was happened like it happened, you had Charlie Kirk followers, some comparing Charlie Kirk to Jesus. That's Wag the Dog. You know damn well people are not going to like that. That's going to bring up a conversation, won't it? Wag the Dog. You'll have a situation where the president, not being accountable as he is, he attacks the Smithsonian Museum over a slavery exhibit, knowing damn well that that's going to cause a reaction and conversation. Wag the dog. We have a situation where he attacks late night hosts, going crazy on the social media and attacking freedom of speech. Wag the dog. Very good distraction. We have a situation where the president continually attacks Democratic states and cities, their governors and their mayors, and threats of National Guards coming in. Wag the dog. Every one of these things are purposely set and done for distraction. Let's talk about the sexual accusations and where are these women? So let's ask that question. Where are these women? A number of weeks ago, they were there set and ready to go. Ever since this happened with Charlie Kirk, we don't hear about it anymore. We're dealing with a president of the United States who's giving presents of multi-million-dollar airplanes, monetary gifts. Anything that looks unscrupulous, that's him. Now he'll turn around and constantly brag about the lawsuits that he won against the Des Moines Register, against this TV channel, against this person. He lets it be known in his braggadocious. Yeah, they gave me 16 million. It was 16 million, wasn't it? Okay, so here's my question to America right now. If he's good enough to sue and win, how is it in all of his slander, in all of his defamation of character, in all of his name calling, in all of his lies, how is it that it's good enough for him to win a lawsuit? How is it not good enough against him? And I don't give a damn if he's a sitting president. He should be sued as well. I just seen a story today when a young black lady asked a question in the White House to this sitting president, and he called her obnoxious. I don't want to answer a question from you. You're obnoxious. Okay, I call it slanderous. She should be able to sue that man. Go get that 16 million he just told you about. Because we know good and damn well he didn't have that money till he became president. Now all of a sudden, billionaires under the table, companies under the table, lawsuits, gifts from other countries. This is why the dude wanted to be president. He didn't give a damn about America. I can't stand the fact most that we have a split and division in white people because you have the rich who want Trump president because of the tax cuts and everything that he can benefit as well from them, and they get a benefit from it. But you poor folk, black, white, any other race and in between, you are not benefiting him being your president. I think some of y'all found it out the hard way, especially these ones get deported. I'm going to close this out for now. I think I've let it all out. And I hope that, if anything, give me some comments about the situation. If you agree, jump on board. Let me know. If you don't agree, I still say, give me a right to tell me why you don't agree. I hope that you will also hit me with some likes and you will subscribe to my page. And with that, I'll just close this out for now and say bye-bye.